These are the final moments of Marayna Rodgers' life, caught up.
Las Vegas, a city of dazzling lights, where fortunes are won and lost in the blink of an eye, and where dreams, both good and bad, come to life under the neon glow. But for one young woman, a trip to this glittering oasis would turn into a nightmare. A tragic story of betrayal, greed, and a life cut short. This is the story of Marayna Rodgers. Marayna was a 23-year-old medical assistant from the Seattle area. She was known for her infectious laugh, her kind heart, and her unwavering loyalty to her friends. In December of 2023, Marayna decided to take a trip to Las Vegas, a chance to escape the winter chill and embrace the excitement of Sin City. Little did she know that this trip would be her last. On the night of December 5th, Marayna vanished. Her friends and family back home grew worried when they couldn't reach her. Her belongings were left untouched in her hotel room, and her social media went silent. It was as if she had disappeared into thin air. As days turned into weeks, the mystery surrounding Marayna's disappearance deepened. Police launched an investigation, desperately searching for clues to her whereabouts. They soon discovered that Marayna had been spending time with a friend, Sakari Harnden, and her ex-boyfriend, Chance Comanche, a former NBA G League player for the Stockton Kings. What they uncovered was a web of deceit and a plot far more twisted than anyone could have imagined. Chance Comanche, a towering figure at 6'10", had once dreamed of NBA stardom, but his career had faltered, and he found himself playing in the G League, hoping for another shot at the big leagues. Sakari Harnden, a young woman entangled in a complex relationship with Comanche, would play a pivotal role in this tragic tale. As investigators delved deeper into the lives of these individuals, they uncovered a dark secret, a secret that would ultimately lead them to the truth behind Marayna's disappearance. It all began with a seemingly innocent proposition, an offer of $11,000 for one night. Why would a professional basketball player offer such a large sum of money to Marayna? Was it a simple act of generosity, or was there something more sinister at play? The answer, as investigators would soon discover, lay in a tangled web of relationships, jealousy, and a desperate desire for a Rolex watch. The Rolex, a symbol of luxury and status, became a focal point in this twisted tale. It was a possession that Sakari Harnden craved, and it would ultimately become the catalyst for a series of events that would lead to Marayna's tragic demise. In a desolate area outside Las Vegas, investigators made a grim discovery. Marayna's lifeless body was found, hidden amongst the rocks and desert scrub. The young woman who had come to Vegas seeking excitement had met a tragic end, her life stolen from her in the most brutal way imaginable. As the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, a chilling picture emerged. A picture of betrayal, greed, and a calculated plan to silence Marayna forever. But what truly drove these individuals to commit such a heinous act? Was it the allure of the Rolex? Was it the promise of $11,000? Or was there something even darker lurking beneath the surface? Join us as we unravel the tangled web of deceit, delve into the minds of the perpetrators, and seek justice for Marayna Rodgers. This is a story that will shock you, a story that will make you question the nature of trust and betrayal, and a story that will leave you wondering how such a senseless act of violence could occur. Marayna wasn't just a name on a police report. She was a vibrant young woman with a contagious smile and a zest for life. Born and raised in the Seattle area, Marayna was a beloved daughter, a loyal friend, and a dedicated medical assistant who dreamed of one day becoming a nurse. Those who knew Marayna described her as someone who lit up a room with her presence. She was always there to lend a helping hand, offer a kind word, or share a laugh. She had a passion for helping others, a passion that led her to pursue a career in healthcare. But Marayna's life wasn't all about work. She loved to dance, sing karaoke with her friends, and explore the natural beauty of the Pacific Northwest. She had a thirst for adventure and a deep appreciation for the simple things in life. In December 2023, Marayna decided to take a break from her busy life and embark on a solo trip to Las Vegas. It was a chance to unwind, explore a new city, and create some lasting memories. She shared her excitement with friends and family, posting photos and updates on social media. But what started as a carefree adventure would soon take a tragic turn. Marayna's last social media post was a selfie taken at a popular Las Vegas restaurant. She looked happy, carefree, ready to embrace the excitement of the city. But just hours later, she would vanish without a trace. Las Vegas, a city that pulsates with energy, a 24/7 spectacle of entertainment and excess. Millions flock here every year, drawn to the promise of fortune, freedom, and unforgettable experiences. But beneath the glittering facade, a darker reality exists. For all its glamour, Las Vegas has a seedy underbelly. A place where fortunes are lost as quickly as they're won, where desperation and danger lurk in the shadows, and where dreams can turn into nightmares in an instant. The city's allure attracts not only tourists and high rollers, but also those who prey on the vulnerable, those who seek to exploit the anonymity and excesses that Vegas offers. It's a city of contrasts, where light and darkness coexist, and where Marayna's story would take a tragic turn. Marayna was staying at a hotel off the Strip, hoping to experience a more relaxed side of Vegas. But her path would soon intersect with two individuals who were also drawn to the city's allure, each with their own motivations and secrets. Chance Comanche, a basketball player with a promising future, was in town with his team, the Stockton Kings, for a game against the G League gang night. Sakari Harnden, a young woman with a troubled past, was also in Vegas, seeking opportunities and connections. Their paths would collide with Marayna's in a way that no one could have foreseen. In the heart of this city of illusions, a deadly plot was about to unfold. A plot fueled by greed, jealousy, and a desperate desire for a Rolex watch. Marayna, unsuspecting and full of life, was about to become entangled in a web of deceit that would ultimately lead to her demise. I know this was a heavy one, but these stories need to be told. If you're feeling it, give this video a thumbs up and share it to spread awareness. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our true crime community. For those of you who've been here a while, you know I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around. Marayna's trip to Vegas wasn't entirely solo. She had planned to meet up with a friend, Sakari Harnden, someone she knew from back home. Sakari, a young woman who had recently moved to Las Vegas, seemed to be living the high life, posting glamorous photos on social media and hinting at exciting new opportunities. What Marayna didn't know was that Sakari was involved in a complicated relationship with Chance Comanche. Though they had reportedly broken up, they maintained contact, and their connection seemed to run deeper than a casual friendship. According to police reports, Sakari and Chance had been communicating in the days leading up to Marayna's arrival in Vegas. Their messages, later recovered by investigators, revealed a plan was forming, a plan that involved Marayna. On the night of December 5th, Marayna met up with Sakari and Chance at a bar on the Las Vegas Strip. Security footage shows them laughing and talking, seemingly enjoying each other's company. But behind the smiles and casual conversation, a dangerous game was already in motion. Later that night, Marayna, Sakari, and Chance left the bar together. Security cameras captured their departure, but after that, their movements become unclear. What happened next remains shrouded in mystery, a chilling sequence of events that would lead to Marayna's tragic end. As the night wore on, the atmosphere inside the vehicle grew tense. According to Chance Comanche's later confession to police, a proposition was made, an offer that would cast a dark shadow over the rest of the night. Chance, a professional athlete, allegedly offered Marayna $11,000. Not for a date, not for companionship, but for something far more explicit. He propositioned her for sex. It was a proposition that left Marayna stunned. $11,000, a life-changing sum of money for many. But why would Chance, a man with a promising career and a seemingly comfortable lifestyle, make such an offer? And why Marayna, a young woman he barely knew? Was this a simple act of impulsive desire fueled by alcohol and the allure of Vegas? Or was there something more calculated, more sinister at play? The answer, as investigators would later uncover, lay in a complex web of relationships and a hidden motive that went far beyond a mere financial transaction. According to Chance's confession, Marayna initially hesitated, unsure how to respond to this unexpected and unsettling offer. But the pressure mounted, and the lure of such a large sum of money may have seemed impossible to resist. What was going through Marayna's mind in those tense moments? Was she tempted by the money? Did she feel pressured by the situation? Or was she already sensing the danger that lurked beneath the surface of this seemingly lucrative proposition? Little did Marayna know that this offer, this seemingly straightforward transaction, was just the beginning of a horrifying ordeal. An ordeal that would expose the dark underbelly of Las Vegas and the depths of human depravity. As the investigation into Marayna's disappearance unfolded, detectives began to uncover a hidden layer to this tragic story, a layer that involved a simmering feud, a coveted possession, and a motive that went beyond the shocking $11,000 offer. At the center of this conflict was a Rolex watch, a symbol of luxury and status. Kari Harnden, it turned out, had been fixated on this particular timepiece. She craved it, she desired it, and she believed it rightfully belonged to her. But there was a problem. The Rolex was in Marayna's possession. Whether it was a gift, a loan, or something else entirely, the watch had become a source of contention between the two women. According to police reports and court documents, Sakari had allegedly made threats against Marayna, demanding the return of the Rolex. Witnesses claimed that Sakari had vowed to smoke her if Marayna didn't comply. The dispute over this seemingly trivial object had escalated into something far more dangerous. Was this Rolex, this symbol of material wealth and status, the true motive behind Marayna's murder? Had Sakari's obsession with the watch driven her to such desperate measures? Or was this just one piece of a larger, more complex puzzle? Investigators began to piece together a disturbing theory. Had Sakari manipulated Chance using their relationship and his desire to help her to lure Marayna into a deadly trap? Was the $11,000 offer merely a ruse, a way to get Marayna alone and vulnerable? The Rolex, the money, the betrayal, it all seemed to be converging into a dark and twisted plot. But the full extent of the conspiracy and the true depths of Sakari and Chance's involvement were still shrouded in mystery. December 6, 2023. A date etched in tragedy. A night that began with the promise of excitement and adventure, but would end in unspeakable horror. Let's retrace the steps that led to Marayna Rodgers' untimely demise, piecing together the fragments of information and evidence gathered by investigators. After leaving the bustling strip, the trio headed towards the M Resort, located south of Las Vegas. Security footage from the hotel shows Chance, Sakari, and Marayna entering the lobby around 2 a.m., but their movements within the hotel remain unclear. Did they go to Chance's room? Did they meet someone else? The cameras offer only glimpses, leaving gaps in the timeline. Sometime after 3 a.m., according to Chance's later confession, the group left the hotel and drove to a remote area outside the city. The desert landscape, vast and desolate, provided the perfect cover for their dark intentions. It was here, under the cloak of darkness, that the horrific plan was put into motion. According to Chance's account, he and Sakari bound Marayna's hands with a zip tie, rendering her helpless and vulnerable. What was going through Marayna's mind in those terrifying moments? Betrayed by her friend, trapped in a remote location with a man she barely knew, she must have been consumed by fear and desperation. Then, the unthinkable happened. Chance, aided by Sakari, strangled Marayna, using an HDMI cord to choke the life out of her. Her struggles, her pleas for mercy were ignored as they carried out their deadly plan. Marayna's life, full of promise and potential, was extinguished in the cold darkness of the desert. Her body, discarded like a piece of trash, was left to the elements, hidden amongst the rocks and scrub. The sun rose on December 6th, casting a harsh light on the scene of the crime. But the truth, the full extent of the horror that had unfolded under the cover of darkness, remained hidden. It would take weeks of investigation, a confession, and a grim discovery to bring the pieces of this tragic puzzle together. In the days following Marayna's disappearance, the investigation intensified. Detectives worked tirelessly, following leads, interviewing witnesses, and piecing together the fragments of information they had gathered. Their focus soon narrowed in on Chance Comanche and Sakari Harnden. Chance, a professional athlete with a seemingly bright future, became a prime suspect. His connection to Marayna, his presence in Las Vegas at the time of her disappearance, and his relationship with Sakari all raised red flags for investigators. On December 13, 2023, just a week after Marayna vanished, Sakari Harnden was arrested. She was charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. But the investigation was far from over. Detectives were still searching for Marayna's body and seeking a full confession from those involved. A few days later, Chance Comanche was apprehended in Sacramento, California. He was brought in for questioning, and what he revealed to detectives sent shockwaves through the investigation. In a chilling confession, Chance admitted to his role in Marayna's murder. He described the plot he and Sakari had hatched, the lure of the $11,000 offer, and the brutal act that ended Marayna's life. Chance detailed how he and Sakari had driven Marayna to a remote desert location where they bound her hands and strangled her with an HDMI cord. He spoke of the fear in Marayna's eyes, her desperate pleas for mercy, and the cold-blooded way they carried out their plan. The confession was a breakthrough in the case, providing crucial evidence and confirming the investigators' suspicions. But it also raised new questions about the depths of human depravity and the motivations behind such a senseless act of violence. Chance's confession sent shockwaves through the community. A promising athlete, once seen as a role model, was now revealed to be a cold-blooded killer. The case became a national sensation, sparking outrage and grief. Armed with Chance Comanche's confession, investigators focused their search efforts on the remote area he had described. It was a painstaking task, scouring miles of rugged terrain, searching for any sign of Marayna Rodgers' remains. The search continued for days, with each passing hour diminishing the hope of finding Marayna alive. The desert, unforgiving and indifferent, held its secrets close. Finally, on December 19, 2023, a breakthrough. Search teams discovered Marayna's body, partially concealed beneath a pile of rocks and debris. It was a heartbreaking discovery, confirming the tragic end to a young life cut short. Forensic teams meticulously processed the crime scene, collecting evidence and documenting every detail. Marayna's body was carefully recovered and transported to the coroner's office for examination. The autopsy revealed the cause of death: strangulation. The marks on Marayna's neck, consistent with the use of an HDMI cord, corroborated Chance Comanche's confession. The forensic evidence painted a grim picture of the final moments of Marayna's life. Imagine the terror Marayna must have felt, betrayed by her friend, trapped in a remote location, her life slipping away with each tightening of the cord. It's a chilling thought, a reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can lurk within seemingly ordinary people. The discovery of Marayna's body brought a sense of closure to the investigation, but it also deepened the grief and outrage felt by her loved ones and the community. A young woman full of life and potential had been brutally murdered, her dreams and aspirations extinguished. With Chance Comanche's confession and the discovery of Marayna Rodgers' body, the pieces of this tragic puzzle seemed to be falling into place. But one crucial question remained unanswered: why? What drove these two individuals to commit such a heinous act? Was it simply the lure of money and a luxury watch, or were there deeper, darker motives at play? On the surface, the motive appeared to be straightforward. Sakari Harnden, consumed by her desire for the Rolex, allegedly enlisted Chance Comanche to help her obtain it. The $11,000 offer, according to this theory, was merely a ruse to lure Marayna into a vulnerable position. But was it really that simple? Was Sakari's obsession with the Rolex strong enough to drive her to murder? And what about Chance? Was he merely a pawn in Sakari's game, or did he have his own motivations for participating in this horrific crime? Some investigators theorize that Chance may have been motivated by a desire to please Sakari, to prove his loyalty and win back her affection. Others speculated that he may have been driven by a darker impulse, a need to exert power and control, or perhaps even a thrill-seeking desire to participate in something dangerous and forbidden. Another theory emerged, suggesting that the murder may have been a crime of opportunity, a spur-of-the-moment decision fueled by the circumstances and the isolation of the desert location. Perhaps the initial plan was simply to rob Marayna, but the situation escalated, leading to a tragic and irreversible outcome. The human mind is a complex and often unpredictable entity. Motives can be layered, intertwined, and sometimes even hidden from the individuals themselves. In this case, the true motivations behind Marayna's murder may forever remain a mystery, locked away in the minds of those who committed this heinous act. But one thing is certain: Marayna Rodgers lost her life. A life full of promise and potential, cut short by the actions of two individuals driven by dark desires and a twisted sense of morality. Her death serves as a tragic reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of greed, jealousy, and violence. With the confession and the grim discovery of Marayna Rodgers' body, the focus shifted to the pursuit of justice. The wheels of the legal system began to turn, slowly but inexorably, as the district attorney's office prepared to bring charges against Chance Comanche and Sakari Harnden. Both Chance and Sakari were charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. They were held without bail, their futures uncertain as they awaited their day in court. The legal proceedings were complex and drawn out, with lawyers on both sides meticulously building their cases. Prosecutors presented a mountain of evidence, including Chance's confession, witness testimony, forensic analysis, and surveillance footage. Chance's defense team argued that his confession was coerced, that he was manipulated by Sakari, and that his role in the murder was minimal. They painted a picture of a young man caught in a web of deceit, a victim of circumstance rather than a cold-blooded killer. Sakari's defense team, on the other hand, attempted to distance her from the crime, claiming that she had no knowledge of Chance's intentions and that she was merely a bystander caught in a tragic situation. They portrayed her as a victim of Chance's manipulation, a young woman who had been used and discarded. The courtroom became a battleground of narratives, with each side vying to control the story and sway the jury. The fate of Chance Comanche and Sakari Harnden hung in the balance, their lives forever altered by the events of that fateful night in December. For Marayna Rodgers' family and friends, the legal proceedings were a painful reminder of their loss. They sought justice for Marayna, hoping that the perpetrators would be held accountable for their actions. But they also grappled with the complex emotions of grief, anger, and the desire for closure. Amidst the legal battles and the media frenzy, it's easy to lose sight of the human cost of this tragedy. Marayna Rodgers was more than just a victim, more than just a name in a headline. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, a beloved member of her community. Let's take a moment to remember Marayna, to celebrate her life and the impact she had on those who knew her. Let's hear from her family and friends as they share their memories and grieve the loss of this extraordinary young woman. Marayna's mother's name, remembers her daughter as a bright light, a kind and compassionate soul who always put others first. She had a smile that could light up a room, her mother recalls, her voice trembling with emotion. She was always there to lend a helping hand, to offer a shoulder to cry on. She was my everything. Marayna's friends describe her as a loyal and supportive companion, someone who always knew how to make them laugh and feel loved. She was the life of the party, one friend shares, a tear rolling down her cheek. She had this infectious energy that just drew people to her. We miss her terribly. Marayna's colleagues at the medical clinic where she worked remember her dedication to her patients and her passion for helping others. She was a natural caregiver, one coworker recalls. She had a way of making people feel comfortable and cared for. She was going to make an amazing nurse. The loss of Marayna has left a void in the lives of those who knew her. Her laughter, her kindness, her vibrant spirit, all are deeply missed. But her memory lives on, in the hearts of her loved ones and in the stories they share. Marayna Rodgers may be gone, but she will never be forgotten. Her story serves as a reminder to cherish the people we love, to live each day to the fullest, and to never take a single moment for granted. Marayna Rodgers' tragic death sent shockwaves through her community and beyond. The senselessness of the crime, the involvement of a professional athlete, and the alleged motive of a Rolex watch captivated the nation and sparked widespread outrage and grief. But beyond the headlines and the sensational details, Marayna's murder raised important questions about safety, trust, and the dark side of social media and online interactions. How could a young woman, seemingly surrounded by friends and acquaintances, fall victim to such a horrific crime? In the aftermath of Marayna's death, many in her community expressed concerns about the safety of young women, particularly those who engage in online interactions and social media. The case served as a stark reminder of the potential dangers lurking in the digital world, where predators can easily hide behind fake profiles and manipulate vulnerable individuals. Experts emphasize the importance of being vigilant, of verifying identities, and of being cautious when meeting people online. They stress the need for open communication with trusted friends and family members, and the importance of seeking help if something feels wrong or unsafe. Marayna's murder also sparked a conversation about the role of social media in our lives. While social media can be a powerful tool for connection and communication, it can also be a breeding ground for jealousy, envy, and unhealthy comparisons. The pursuit of material possessions, the desire for validation and status, and the pressure to portray a perfect life online can all contribute to a distorted sense of reality and unhealthy relationships. Marayna's case serves as a tragic reminder of the importance of genuine connection, self-worth, and prioritizing real-life relationships over online facades. In the wake of Marayna's death, her community came together to honor her memory and support her family. Candlelight vigils were held, fundraisers were organized, and tributes poured in from across the country. Marayna's story touched the hearts of many, inspiring calls for change and a renewed commitment to safety and awareness. Marayna's legacy lives on, not only in the hearts of those who knew her but also in the positive changes that have emerged from this tragedy. Her story has sparked important conversations about safety, trust, and the responsible use of social media. It has also inspired communities to come together, to support each other, and to work towards creating a safer and more compassionate world. Despite the arrests, the confessions, and the grim discovery of Marayna Rodgers' body, some questions linger, unanswered and unresolved. Like wisps of smoke in the desert wind, they swirl around the edges of this tragic tale, hinting at deeper mysteries and potential loose ends that continue to intrigue and perplex. One of the most pressing questions revolves around the true motive behind the murder. While the Rolex watch and the $11,000 offer provide a seemingly clear explanation, some investigators believe there may be more to the story. Was there another hidden motive that drove Chance and Sakari to such extreme measures? Some speculate that the murder may have been a crime of passion, fueled by jealousy or a desire for revenge. Was there a deeper, more personal conflict between Sakari and Marayna that escalated beyond the dispute over the Rolex? Were there hidden resentments or unresolved issues that fueled their animosity? Another unanswered question revolves around the extent of Chance Comanche's involvement in the crime. Was he truly the mastermind behind the plot, or was he manipulated by Sakari, a pawn in her deadly game? Did he fully understand the consequences of his actions, or was he blinded by his desire to please Sakari and win back her affection? Some experts have suggested that Chance may have been suffering from mental health issues or experiencing a period of instability that clouded his judgment and made him susceptible to Sakari's influence. Others believe that he was fully aware of his actions and willingly participated in the murder, driven by his own dark desires. There are also questions surrounding the timeline of events and the specific details of the crime. Were there other individuals involved in the plot? Were there witnesses who saw something but haven't come forward? Are there missing pieces of evidence that could shed further light on the truth? Despite the extensive investigation and the confessions of the perpetrators, some aspects of this case remain shrouded in mystery. The unanswered questions linger, casting a shadow of doubt and uncertainty over the official narrative. Were there hidden motives, secret agendas, or other players involved in this tragic tale? Will the full truth ever be revealed, or will some questions remain forever unanswered, haunting the memories of those who loved Marayna Rodgers? Marayna Rodgers' story is a tragedy, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of greed, violence, and betrayal. Her life, full of promise and potential, was cut short by a senseless act of violence, leaving a void in the hearts of those who knew and loved her. But Marayna's story is also a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Even in the face of unimaginable loss, her family, friends, and community have found ways to honor her memory and keep her spirit alive. They have channeled their grief into action, working tirelessly to raise awareness about the dangers of violence against women, the importance of online safety, and the need for stronger support systems for victims and their families. Marayna's legacy lives on in the countless lives she touched, in the memories she created, and in the positive changes that have emerged from this tragedy. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, always the possibility of healing and growth. Let us honor Marayna's memory by seeking justice, spreading awareness, and working towards a world where such senseless acts of violence are prevented. Let us remember her laughter, her kindness, and her unwavering spirit. Let us ensure that her legacy lives on, inspiring us to create a safer, more compassionate, and more just world for all. If you have been affected by violence or know someone who needs help, please reach out to the resources listed in the description below. You are not alone. There is support available, and together we can make a difference. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and comment on this video to help spread awareness about Marayna's story and the important issues it raises. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories that shed light on the complexities of human nature and the pursuit of justice.